with Ric Flair criticizing Seth Rollins for saying he was terrified when being attacked by a fan, and more. This is Wrestling Up. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report for December 1st. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Up and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at WrestlingHubOfficial, and also follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. When it comes to the Madison Square Garden show on December 26th, WWE's live holiday tour will see two steel cage matches on the same night for the first time at MSG. In one bout, Big E will be defending his WWE title against Rollins and Owens, while Becky Lynch looks set to defend her Raw Women's title against Bianca Belair. On last week's Dynamite, fans were treated to CM Punk and MJF verbally jousting in the ring, as many are now excited about this prospective feud. On this podcast, Ric Flair would criticize the two for bringing up WWE. I thought the segment was good. I didn't really like that part where Punk mentioned The Miz. Regardless, you were right. Why even bring up the other company? And I am saying on behalf of both companies and wrestlers that are WWE or AEW, but I am a big fan of MJF. The kid can talk, and more than that, he carries himself like an absolute pro. He dresses. You know, I cannot emphasize enough how important, in my estimation, it is to look professional, and that kid always looks sharp. With Wrestling Inc. Daily, former WWE referee Jimmy Korderas revealed a horrifying moment from the company's trip to Iraq. While they were there for the Tribute of the Troops show, they thought they could be attacked. During the show, I got to referee the match between Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit, which was amazing. What we did not expect was, as we are going to the commercial break spot, all of a sudden, here comes these planes flying overhead that we did not know was going to happen. So I started to go, oh my goodness, what's going on here? Then I looked at Chris and Eddie, and they were like, what's going on here? And we all kind of thought, are we under attack here? Are we in trouble? Somebody from ringside had to get up and told me, listen, we're all good, we're okay, this was planned. Nice if you would have told us about it, because all three of us in the ring are like, are we under attack here? Should we duck under the ring? So we didn't know about it. I guess they wanted the natural reaction. They got one anyway, and they almost got more than they bargained for. Following her shocking and controversial return at SummerSlam, Becky Lynch has been seen as a villain on programming, which has attracted the ire of many. On Busted Open Radio, Bully Ray talked about Becky's character and her most recent exchange with Liv Morgan on Raw. It is basically an old school heel. It is heel 101. However, heel 101 does not really work with Becky. She is trying to portray a heel, and you brought up the facial expressions, especially at the end of the match. Last night, she is laying out on the floor and she is making the typical bitter bear face. Give me my belt, give me my championship. I was like, that is pretty much as old school as that gets. If you have read How to Be a Heel for Dummies, which I have read twice, what Becky is doing is on the first couple of pages. We know that's not really her, but at the end of the day, they are getting the desired reaction from you that they are looking for, which is you want to see Liv Morgan beat up and defeat Becky. So they look at it as this: no matter how we are getting there with you, no matter how we are touching you emotionally, we are still doing it so we win. Some are under the impression that Becky could be turning babyface, as we'll have to see what happens with her going forward. At the Control Your Narrative event, EC3 and Braun Strowman went head-to-head as the two were set to take part in another event, the Blizzard Brawl. Speaking to CBS 58, Strowman noted that his profits will be donated to help the victims from the Waukesha parade. So here's the deal. We are doing a meet and greet, autograph signing, photo opportunity stuff before and after the show. Myself and my tag team partner for the night, EC3, his real name is Michael Hunter. He's one of my best friends and business partners and my tag team wrestling partner. We have been very blessed and fortunate in our lives with everything that has been allotted to us through professional wrestling. Working with WWE and now working outside of WWE, Wisconsin is near and dear to my heart. My sister and I are the only ones in my family born out of the state of Wisconsin. Waukesha is my back door, my backyard. I think this is an awesome opportunity to do some good in the community. All the money, all the proceeds raised from the autograph signing meet and greet will be donated to the families and the victims of the Waukesha Christmas Parade. I'm really looking forward to having a huge, massive turnout. I mean, it's in Waukesha, so the people of Waukesha will be supporting this for a good cause, looking to do a little bit of good in a time of bad here. Despite wanting to face John Cena in his retirement bout at WrestleMania 35, Kurt Angle was given the option to face Baron Corbin that year and Cena the next. As revealed on Talk Is Jericho, Vince McMahon said, "Well, Kurt, you can do that next year." I was like, "Vince, I'm retiring this year." He said, "Well, if you wait another year, I could do that for you." I said, No, I'm gonna do it this year, because there was no way in hell I was gonna wrestle another year, especially in WWE, because all they were gonna do was job me out for the whole year. So I knew I could see the writing on the wall, and I didn't know if I wanted to be a part of that. With Eric Bischoff previously telling Tony Khan to stop talking so much and focus on his show and product, this led to the AEW president responding. With Shaq Wrestling, Bischoff said he believes Khan has hard feelings. "We were friendly and cordial, mutual respect there, all that good stuff. It was not until recently. I was asked a question and I responded and it caused, I'm guessing, hard feelings from Tony. I tried to call Tony Khan and he did not even try to call me back. Someone told me who Tony was complaining to, about how upset he was about the things that I said. He said, 'Hey, why don't you give Tony a call?' I said, 'Sure, I'm not mad at Tony. I am not one to hold grudges. It does not change the way I feel about Tony. I just had to express my opinion and react to something Tony actually said that involved me, and I took it as being disrespectful of my accomplishments and even more disrespectful and quite frankly ignorant with relation to the comment he made about Ted Turner. That's what I reacted to. It does not mean I'm angry with Tony Khan. When my friend said to give him a call, I thought, alright, I'll give him a call. I left a message and I haven't heard back, so evidently he's a little pissed off, but that's alright." On the House of Hardcore podcast, Tommy Dreamer would note the original plan for this angle. The whole Katie Vick necrophilia angle that all came about through Vince, and the payoff of all that was going to be Sick Boy Scott Vick was going to wrestle Triple H at WrestleMania to avenge his sister who was dead. That all came about when Sick Boy Scott Vick had a dark match tryout and Vince just liked the name Scott Vick because they couldn't call him Sick Boy. This horrible angle with Kane and Triple H was going to be the caveat to headlining WrestleMania with Scott Vick avenging his sister Katie Vick. I remember John Laurinaitis having to tell Vince, "That's great, but he's not employed here. He was on a tryout. People have gotten hired on a lot weirder things, but I think after that it was just and we lost that amazing WrestleMania to avenge Sick Boy's sister's horrible degradation of her grave." That's sometimes how these crazy things happen in WWE. It's insane to think that plan was for Triple H and Sick Boy to face off in Mania, and the fact that Scott Vick was not even employed by WWE at this time makes this hilarious. During a ref and rant, Jimmy Korderas talked about WWE Champion Big E heading in the wrong direction, saying he's getting lost in the shuffle somehow. One superstar who should be elevated to the next level is Big E, and I don't see that happening right now. In fact, I've seen him taking steps backwards. I'm not talking about the loss to Roman Reigns at Survivor Series. That's one thing. He needed to get some of that steam back the next night on Raw, which he did not. And then this past Monday on Raw, all the focus seemed to be more on Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, who were going to face him in a three-way match at the pay-per-view on January 1st. And he was almost like an afterthought. It can't be that. Big E needs to be elevated. I'm afraid they're going in the opposite direction with him. Last week on Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins was tackled by a fan on the entrance ramp. While security was able to get a hold of the situation, Rollins later admitted he found the experience terrifying. On his podcast, Ric Flair took issue with Seth saying he was scared. I could say a lot of cute things, but I'm not going to because I don't want to. Every time I say something, I have to involve other people, and then they have to endure the consequences. I have seen that happen, but I've never seen it where the fan clearly was getting the better of the individual. My problem with Seth is that if you're a top guy in this business and you know anything about the psychology of what the fans think and feel, which they really do, you never ever get off an airplane in LA and say I was terrified. Terrified of what? Terrifying, Seth, is being in an airplane crash. You were terrified or horrified by a wrestling fan? Come on, man. What I would have done if I was Seth, which everybody should learn from this, is that even though the referees had the guy, I would have jumped back on him, even if I never got a shot in. I know your answer is going to be, well, there's lawsuits and all that. WWE would have covered the lawsuit. Seth would have never got to them. But if you were a heel, you never admit defeat. You just don't do it. Do you think I ever beat anybody? No, but in the minds of most people, I didn't lose because I kept lying about it even though it was a work. You never admit you got your ass kicked, much less being horrified or terrified. Flair would go on to know that had his daughter Charlotte been attacked, she would not have been taken down like Rollins. Second generation kids are taught to be tough. Roman Reigns, the Usos, that's why I'm such a fan of kids that had to really be tough just to survive in life. If you've been a real athlete and really competed at a top level, you're tough. You're mentally tough. You're physically tough. You were honed and trained to be. I mean, if that same thing had happened to Ashley, hypothetically, I don't know if that guy could have taken Ashley down. She's tough, man. You don't think Tamina's tough, or Nia Jax, or Natty Neidhart? Are you kidding me? They come up in families where you had to be tough. An apparent WWE employee was shown on camera giving instructions to those filling seats. Of course, the company is no stranger to having people fill seats for venues they can't sell out. The video was posted to Twitter by Macho Beard for Life. Here's the clip.
Somebody who hopefully paid a lot of money for the seat you're sitting in comes back and is very confused as to why you are sitting there. Kindly and politely explain, hey, listen, I'm a seat filler, I'm with WWE, I'm only sitting here until you get back. Most of the time, that will solve all problems. Sometimes people want to argue, they want to insult, they want to get into a confrontation about it. Please do not confront or argue back, okay? I will have eyes on you guys. I promise I'll come over and rescue you if you need to be rescued, all right? So, I might move you guys one time, I might move you 50 times. I am giving you a heads up. I am going to move you a lot. I'm going to move you guys a lot tonight. So if you're wearing sandals, I'm very sorry. You guys are about to get a lot of steps in. Please be ready to move at any point in time. I will need you guys 2 major times during the show. It is day 3 of pay-per-view week, and everybody here is exhausted. Let's see. So I need you guys 2 times definitely during the show. Once at the very beginning of SmackDown, right around 8 o'clock. The second time, right after SmackDown goes off the air at 10 o'clock, we go into 205 Live. I will probably move every single person, okay? So once... And then when SmackDown goes off the air, 205 Live we go into, I will probably move everybody here. So please, once SmackDown's about to go off the air, heads up because you're about to move. Okay, that is what we're doing. Anyone have any questions about what we're doing?
And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.